extortion, not just in Rivers State, but in Nigeria as a whole. And it's a good thing that this policeman has served the appropriate punishment, inspector, by being sacked. But again, are there any specific laws or regulation that govern how extortion cases are handled in this jurisdiction? Because, I mean, if a common man carried out something of this nature, he or she will be behind the bars. But how come when it has to do with Inspector General, when it has to do with police, when it has to do with security agencies, they are always getting, it's always a case of dismissal. What happens if they keep them behind the bars? Because we keep getting stories where an ex or a former security personnel that was dismissed going into illegal activities, involving in illegal activities. So what happens if they are put behind the bars?
It's okay. This is Immaculate. Let me say Happy New Year. I've not seen you since January of 2024.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you.
So welcome.
Thank you.
When I want to correct an impression, remember that as a serving police officer, without trying you on the room, you cannot be sacked. And you cannot also be prosecuted if you are not being dismissed from police force. It is when you have been tried, that is the only room, in other words, mean internal investigation by the Nigeria police, since you are a serving officer. And once you are found wanting, you will not be recommended to the Inspector General of Police, who have the final say, just like the Supreme Court when it has to do with the general society. It is when you have been dismissed, you can now face the charge or the allegation against you. Then they can now charge you to court. That is by the way. Now, Inspector of Police, or ASP, Michael Rudy, was dismissed from police. It's a welcome development. Remember, this is not the first time. We have been hearing this kind of news in Lagos, Osun State, and other states. For Rivers State, this should be the second or third time it has come to the public domain that people who have knowledge about it. My concern on that press release by the police PRO in Rivers State is he has been economizing or micromanaging the information that surrounds that information. He was unable to clarify the general public the name of the suspect that the police officer extorted money from. They were unable to disclose to us where the incident happened, which of the local government in Rivers State, or it happened in the Port Harcourt city of Rivers State, who are the victim, and how does it happen. The only news we can read from that press statement is kidnapping and extortion of money from people. That press release is not comprehensive, and for me, I would also ask the Inspector General of Police to query the police PRO of Rivers State on why he should be micromanaging the information that is open for the public domain. That's my concern. Otherwise, it's a welcome development so that will also reduce the spirit of crime from the serving police officers. Thank you.
All right, this is actually a follow-up story. This happened in Bios State, and the police, they have been following up. An investigation has been ongoing on this particular story. So I think they didn't have to go all out to put all of those again, because I believe a lot of persons have been following this story. This is just a new development that we needed to talk about. Anyways, let's look at our second story for today. At the Valentine's Day celebration organized by the Ogun State Civil Service Union, participants received from free condoms distributed by the officials from the Ministry of Health. The event held at the Osun State Government Secretariat in Abere featured dancing competition and various games with prize awarded to the winners. Speaking with the journalist, the state's family planning coordinator Ololade Abatan said, by the grace of God has given us the witness this year Valentine's Day, we have to protect ourselves from sexual transmitted diseases, and that is why we are here to distribute both male and female condoms to everyone. Let's start using condom for adequate protection for sexual transmitted diseases and unwanted pregnancies. This is all for the good of all of us, both young and old people. We have to protect ourselves from sexual transmitted infections. Adeleke, who has always represented by the head of service, Ayaneye and Nina, in a statement by the spokesperson, Olawale Rahid, further said, we have all come a long way as a family of change makers in our common family. Love rules and transcend any other impediment. With love, we overlook mistake, forgive wrongs, and embrace united living. With love, we contemplate the powers of joy and peace. We enjoy the positive and negative circumstances of the moment and hope for healing of one for the mutual and collective beneficial future. On this day of love, we all know the history of a day we are celebrating, how love led to overruling all the considerations. We remember the sacrifice simply because of heart-to-heart considerations. We must therefore ruminate over what we have achieved and what we have lost. I was speaking with someone some days ago, and the person asked a question. That what happened, it seems that organizations do not Ministry of Health as per se, no longer share condoms for protection. That is why the population is increasing, because there's so much unwanted pregnancy. And now they have come up, they came up yesterday to share this. And of course we know that, in as much as we know that fornication is not allowed, and of course Valentine is supposed to be for the couples, and this is the act, when I'm talking about sex that they've involved in for quite a long time. Was it really necessary for them to come up and share this condom? Don't you think that they are actually encouraging what the world is trying to fight? Don't you think they're trying to encourage, because now we see that the minors are beginning to engage in sexual activities that is actually not allowed if one is not married. So how does the distribution of free condoms at the Valentine's event align with the existing sexual health policies and programs?
Mrs. Immaculate, of course, you will attest to the fact that I am not an health personnel or a medical doctor, but I just want to take from the general perspective of it. Remember that the question would have been that the sex protection material being shared, if it actually shared for those who are qualified to have sex, and if it was distributed to those who are qualified to have sex, that's fine and good. You know, it's not every family that has money to go for family planning. It's not every family that can also calculate their time of ovulation and all that in order to avoid getting pregnancy that they didn't budget for or plan for. But also remember that while we are trying to be health conscious, it is also against biblically for when husband and wife been having sex, you know, one trying to protect using extra material to protect yourself by having sex and all that. But for me, it's a welcome development. If actually, you know, those material was, you know, distributed to those that were entitled to it. When I mean those who are entitled, I mean husband and wife who are legally married. Apart from Bible as a Christian, that we will say that earlier sex before marriage is not advisable. But for those who do not believe in the Bible. Remember that courtship and relationship is very important before you go into marriage. If you keep Bible outside, you will agree with me that medically it is nice for you to know your next partner you want to spend the rest of your life with. So sex is part of what that can justify who you want to marry to. Whether you are this kind of person that need a short-term sex or long-term sex, and as such, it is only in courtship that you can be able to identify somebody that suits the kind of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. For me, medically, that is a good one for them.
All right, there is still a question I would have loved to ask, because if this was shared to those who are qualified to have sex as per se, and we are talking about couples here, is it really necessary for them to protect themselves? Yes, we know that they are equally talking about unwanted pregnancy, but their focus was really on health. Do you have to really, I mean, was this really necessary, Mr. Mpon?
Yes, I have answered that question in course of responding to the first question you asked. That apart from biblically that they kick against, protecting man protecting himself or the woman while having sex, being husband and wife, health-wise, it is very important that you protect yourself. Unlike, let me talk about myself, who is legally married with 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And for now, if I can see God one-to-one to talk to God and take away any other pregnancy from my wife, that would be fine. But because we can't talk to God, we must apply the physical measures that we can do to protect what we call unwanted pregnancy. Otherwise, it's not unwanted pregnancy. So prevention measure for me is better than cure. Preventing not to have pregnancy or to get somebody pregnant is more better than when somebody is already pregnant, then you now take the person to hospital to do abortion and all that, which is very dangerous to the health of that person and to the society consumption. So for me, that's a welcome development. Like I say it is only when it is biblical that it is wrong. But for the purpose of our health, and you and me can attest to the fact, I don't know whether you buy Gary. I came back to Nigeria about 2 days ago, and I know that the basin of Gary was about 7,000 naira or thereabout, just about 2 to 3 weeks. Thereabout now, Gary is about 14 to 13,000 naira. So you can imagine when you have more than 6, 7 children, how can you feed? Not to talk about school fees. I was also surprised when I came back, my little boy that was in primary school, the school fees now is about 100 and something thousand, whereas me that is on the PhD course in university, my school fees was about 180,000. You can see how the life is very expensive in Nigeria, whereas where we are working, nobody is increasing the salary. So anything one can do to limit more expenditure that will be attached to the family, for me, that is the best solution to live in Nigeria.
All right, the next story for today, student of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA, has expressed outrage over a raid conducted at the off-campus hostel in the early hour of Wednesday by officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The anti-graft officials reportedly stormed the Red Block axis in Orita Obele, Akure, the Ondo State capital, around 2 a.m. Initially mistaking the EFCC officials for kidnappers, the students claims that the officials forcibly entered into their rooms. Some of the lodges raided, including Adoni Lodge, Celebrity Lodge, and the Peace Apartment. The FUTA Students Union has strongly condemned the raid, particularly noting its midnight timing. FUTA Students Union President Oluwasoro Midayo Olayemi told reporters We regret to inform you of the ugly incident that happened within our school of campus community at 3 a.m. on February 14, 2024. Some agents of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) broke into more than 3 schools lodges in the Southgate community and make unlawful arrests of our students, destroying properties, molested female students, and inhumanly afflicted injuries on some other students. He noted that the timing of the raid contradicted an early directive of the chairman of the EFCC on November 1st, 2023 that cited operation at night by stopping in all the commands of the EFCC. Mr. Mpon, when we are talking about the arrest of the EFCC, if you agree with me, because I think I've equally had this encounter when they actually invaded one of my neighbor's compound, and then that was around 2 a.m., if I can remember vividly, and then they barged into the house, broke the glasses, and went through the windows to arrest the people that they came for, the alleged cyber frauders that they came for. And I'm asking, because something of this nature happened in a particular school that was last year, 2023, and is it that this is the best way to go about getting these criminals? Do they really have to invade people's home at night? Is there no other strategies that they can employ, that they can get to be able to get these people? Because each time EFCC invade a particular whether home or hotel or anywhere, something will definitely go wrong. If they don't break the glasses, they will have to damage the doors. Something must happen. Is this the best way to go about getting these criminals? Can't they get a different measures to go about this?
Well, it's unfortunate. Let me use that word, unfortunate, that in our country, known as Nigeria, we'll be experiencing all this kind of unprofessional means of, the police or the force agency. We want to, overreact over issues. You will agree with me that, or permit me to say that, if the Department of State Security, that is the DSS, want to come for grading, for instance, in my office or that your office where you are now as you are working, don't be surprised that the arrest will take place in that place without you being in the next office. Will not be aware that the DSS has, raided that facility and took away a suspect.
Exactly.
DSS has been arresting so many act criminals in this state. Nobody will know. Sure, their family will be looking for them. Sometimes it will take like 3 months, 4 months for them to even confirm that it was DSS that actually arrested such suspect. Like a case of EFCC. Don't also forget that EFCC, they also receive the training of the police. They are actually Nigeria Police Force. They are just a department. So their approach is the same thing. It's just the only name that differentiates them, the EFCC. You understand? Otherwise, they are police. Their training is the training of the police. Their attitude is the attitude of the police. Their corrupt-minded operation is just that of the police. Everything about them is just the police. So when we are talking about to reform the police structure, they are included so that they should have the professional means of handling the society. Otherwise, nobody is above the law of the country. So whether you are a student who are hiding or using the school identity to camouflage the society, then you carry out your evil act. Anywhere you are hiding, the Nigeria Force, Police, Army, on the DSS, Air Force, if it is their jurisdiction, they have every right to come into that environment and to get you arrested. But on how to carry out professionalism so that it will not affect other innocent people is just what I know that you are giving concern about. If not, hiding inside the school is not our problem. Also remember that every university do have internal security. So what stopped the EFCC to now work with the internal security of that university, who can go straight to that hostel where the students are living and just get them red-handed without anybody even know what is happening to the school, and you get the person out of that place, rather than, you know, turning the school to become a jungle place where you can just enter and you just get people arrested. They were lucky that the students were not radical enough, you know, to confront them. It will now look as if the students are now being the ones that are dating the criminals in their midst, just because of their unprofessional attitude of, you know, confronting the criminals. If not, nothing wrong. I don't know whether I make my point clear.
Yes, you have.
Either for here, neither for here. But the point I am making, if the EFCC are professionals, they can liaise with the internal security, the school management, and get into that premises and get those criminals arrested without anybody knowing. Nothing stopped EFCC or police to go to the university to get people arrested. But the due process has to follow. Remember that university is a community of its own. They have the internal police, they have the VC, they have all the structure that the community do have. And they have a means of disciplining the student who defrauded the law of the school. So, you know, the police now condemning all those processes and bringing to the university and carry out that operation is unprofessional. That is just the best language to describe that incident. It is unprofessional attitude of the EFCC.
All right, thank you so much. And going forward to the next story, the Sokoto State House of Assembly has passed a resolution urging the state government to prohibit the exportation of food items to neighboring countries as a measure to reduce food inflation. The decision came after the adoption of the motion on the matter of urgent public importance by Shamo Aliyu during Wednesday's plenary session in Sokoto. Aliyu highlighted the economic hardship faced by the people, attributing it to the high inflation. This has significantly impacted the livelihood of individuals and families across our state and Nigeria as at large, he said. Aliyu said the government needs to set up a task force committee on food price and collaborate with relevant stakeholders to ensure enforcement to take the necessary measures, he said. The lawmakers described the beautification project of state government in the monopolies as irrelevant, considering the economic hardship being faced by the people. As a government, we need to always prioritize our people's demand first and not to concentrate on areas that are of less priorities in order to ease the numerous challenges we face ourselves today, he said. Mr. Mpon, I just have a simple question for this story. You know, in a situation that you have not put your house in order, and then you are trying to put another's house in order. This is what it looks like as it stands now. I would like to ask you, what do you think about Nigerians exporting food items to neighboring countries when we do not even have enough here? Because mechanization, technology has not really gotten here when it has to do with farming, because the president talked about it. That was some days back, that is going to do something about that. But if you look at other countries, even the neighboring countries we're talking about, they have all of this equipment in place to be able for a large farming. But here we do not have it. Is it wise for Nigerians to export food items out there when we do not have enough here?
Mrs. Immaculate, you know, today you really have enough of my time, you know, taking me to different dimensions. Otherwise, when it has to do with politics, I wouldn't have want to contribute. Because it has to do with
food,
consumable commodity. I have to talk about it because it's also affecting me. You know, the best language to describe Nigeria is a country that does not have a working system. How will you solve your problem? Nigeria don't have a working system. Permit me, you and me, we are in this country. We don't rate a Asian country like India and the rest as one of the best economic or a developed a country. But believe me that they have a working system. You know, the government regularize the selling price of commodity in the market. You can, for instance, you can go to supermarket or boutique where they are selling clothes 5,000 naira, then you go to another boutique and still see that same clothes at the rate of 5,500 naira in that country. It's not possible. What you will see is if here is 5,000, which is government stipulated price, or the regulatory price. When you go to the other shop, what the next person will sell will be maybe around 4,900 or 4,500. You can't exceed what the government say. So in Nigeria, you know, Nigeria are not controlling the sale of market prices. So everybody are independent on their own. Nobody obeys the government regulation and all that. So this is what we keep saying. You see, it becomes the survival of the fittest. Every state are running to survive. Every local government are running to survive. Every parastatals, every aspect of the country are struggling to survive. It will continue, but for me, it's a welcome development. If the law, you know, can hold water, then they stop the exportation of goods. My sister, even you and me will prefer to pay transport to that place to go and buy goods so that we can feed our family. Or other states will now emulate what the Sokoto state would have done. I think for me, I have to encourage them to do more. That is a working House of Assembly, not some state that they have a rubber stamp House of Assembly. Whatever the governor say, they say yes sir. Whatever the governor say, yes sir. Nobody makes the law. This is the beauty of the legislators. You know, they make the law. They make the law to make life easy for people, not the kind of the legislators we are having here. Whatever the president, leader of the legislators say, everybody say yes. Nobody make argument. Nobody make a research. Nobody, you know, provide solution to the problem that is affecting the nation. May Almighty God just have mercy on us. If not, we have a very long way to go. Nigeria need to reform. If Nigeria don't reform, my sister, in the next 20 years to come, family will not be having more than one and two children, just like the way it is now. Every new couple, when you go to the wedding, you know, when you see all these comedians will be make fun of the marriage, you want to have 7 children, cut your cake, nobody will talk to you. They will shout 5, nobody will talk to you. 4, nobody will talk to you. It is only when they say 3, reluctantly, you will see that the husband and wife will join. Otherwise, when they say 1 or 2, that's when they will cut their cake. That is where we are driving towards.
All right. And then the last story for today, I'd like you to just give an insight on this. The NAFDA came up with the idea to ban sachet alcohol. And of course, the medical doctors have come in to say, yes, they do agree. And they move with this notion for this sachet alcohol to be banned. According to them, they were talking about looking at the health factor. And the fact that a common man can just walk into the street and get this, which is not okay. But the Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress are saying that they are not in support of this because it's going to render many jobless. And they are saying that the issue of insecurity in the country is because majority are unemployed. And then the NAFDAC, they are willing and ready to put these people out the line in order to ban alcohol. What is your take on that?
Also remember when you are talking about ban of alcohol, I do take alcohol, but I don't take essence.
No, we are talking about the sachet, not bottle.
That is the same now, whether you call it sachets, whether you call it, but I'm telling you that I am part of those people that do take alcohol. So it's just like you are asking me a question that they want to take food from me, what will I do? But that is by the way, professionally, you know, it is when you are how will I put it? You are addicted to drinking alcohol. That is when you will now know the different type of alcohol you are consuming. For me, not only to even ban the sachets, sense to those people that we have private universities. That is what they should have done for those who are producing alcohol. You will sorry yourself if you know the means of producing some of this alcohol, especially those sachets. When you go to a bar, some part of Port Harcourt here, then you will regret to ever put alcohol in your mouth. So whatever they want to do to solve the problem of Nigeria, I am a supporter of that. But at the same time, I agree with the Labour Congress. You know, you can't have intention to solve problem, then you end up to create more problems. Their intention is good, but the timing is wrong. When the system is working, some of the things is what you can just only say for mouth and the implementation will take place. Now that you want to ban these sachets, what provision will you make for these people?
Well, let's believe that the NAFDAC, they've equally, thought of the, they've come up with measures to also tackle that, because like you said, the Labour Congress, they are not wrong. The EFC, the NAFDAC, they're equally not wrong. That is the much we can take on today's show. Thank you so much, Mr. Mpon, for joining me on this show.
Thank you, Mrs. Immaculate. Thank you for having me.
All right, I am Immaculate Irikana. You can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net, website, atlanticnetwork.tv. To remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and continue to stay connected on ATM Socials. Good afternoon.